Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, it has been a couple of days since the Chicago Bears have officially secured the #1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft. And it has been an interesting last couple of days for the Chicago Bears, Ryan Poles, and Bears fans. Obviously, a lot of the Bears fans, including myself, have been celebrating like we won the Super Bowl, which that's what it feels like. You know, obviously, securing this #1 overall pick makes a bad season a little bit better, right? Obviously, the Bears ended the season 3-14. They lost 10 in a row to end the season. So obviously it wasn't pretty, but having a #1 overall pick in the upcoming draft made it a little bit sweeter. So obviously there's a lot of rumors going around right now. And obviously having a #1 overall pick is absolutely huge. That means the Chicago Bears own the upcoming NFL draft. And obviously, I said in previous podcasts, I said in my live streams, even this past Sunday on my live stream, saying that #2 overall would have been nice, right? You still would have got the player to want. You could have probably traded down, got a capital, whatever. But having the #1 overall pick changes the landscape of this offseason for the Chicago Bears. This gives Ryan Poles and the Bears the opportunity to really upstart their rebuild. This can be a generational offseason for the Chicago Bears, right? We have the #1 overall pick. We have $130 million in cap space, right? You have your quarterback in Justin Fields, right? Everything is in place to finally get this team in the right direction and hopefully get the Chicago Bears back to their winning ways, to win on a consistent basis, to be a powerhouse in the NFC. Here is the reason why the Chicago Bears now own the NFL draft. And a lot of people may say, well, Keek, you know, obviously #2 would have been nice as well, but everyone understands that how important, how big it is to own the #1 overall pick. Now the Chicago Bears have leverage for the quarterback needy teams like the Colts, right? The Panthers. There's a couple other teams that may need quarterbacks as well, right? Maybe the Texans, right? There's a couple of teams, quarterback needy teams that may want to consider trading up with the Chicago Bears in order to get Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, one of those guys. The Bears hold all the cards. Here's the interesting part. Ryan Poles already seems to be playing mind games with these other teams, right? And obviously there's been a lot of stuff going around Twitter, a lot of stuff going around social media indicating that the Bears should trade Justin Fields. Justin Fields should be traded. We should draft Bryce Young. To me, when I hear this stuff, I feel that this is all part of the plan. Stuff is going to start being leaked out that's not true, right? We all know that Justin Fields is the guy, but stuff is going to start getting leaked out that we know is not true, just to gain more leverage on some of these quarterback needy teams, much like the Houston Texans. So you may hear in these next couple months, Justin Fields should be traded. We should get Bryce Young. The Bears are interested in Bryce Young. The Bears are interested in CJ Stroud, right? The Bears are this, the Bears are that. You're going to hear a lot of stuff in these next couple of months leading up to the NFL draft, just so the Bears can gain leverage on these quarterback needy teams. But what I want to tell you guys, don't listen to it. This is all part of the plan to gain leverage. And Ryan Poles is going to play the game. And in the press conference he had today with Bears Reporter, the end of season press conference, he's already beginning to play the game. Someone asked him, you know, about the prospect of drafting a quarterback at #1 overall. Ryan Poles answered with this: "We're going to evaluate the draft class, and I would say this, I'd have to be absolutely blown away to make that type of a decision." Right? he didn't say right away that, no, we're not going to draft a quarterback, right? He wants those other teams that want to trade up for a quarterback to get them thinking, right? To say, oh man, are the Chicago Bears considering actually drafting a quarterback? And that's how it's going to be all offseason long. And the reason why Ryan Poles is going to do that, because he wants to create that leverage to when he does trade down, which I truly believe the Bears will trade down. But once the Bears do trade down, that he gets the biggest return as possible. Obviously, when you look back in 2016, when the Rams traded up to number 1 to get Jared Goff, obviously that was when Jared Goff and Carson Wentz were the hot commodities at quarterback. They traded 2 firsts, 2 2s, and 2 3s to trade up from 15 to 1 to get Jared Goff, which was a massive haul. And obviously, I understand that that team traded 15 to 1 to get the quarterback that they wanted. But I am hearing things already indicating that that's where the offer will probably begin. The Bears are obviously looking for as much as possible. And obviously, there's a lot of attractive teams that will possibly come up because, to me, when you look at it, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are obviously way better coming out of college, especially when you look at Carson Wentz and Jared Goff back in 2016. Teams are going to be interested. For example, Chris Ballard, Colts GM, which is possibly an option for the Chicago Bears. Someone asked him if there is a QB at the top of the draft they want, would he give up heaven and earth to trade up and get him? Ballard answered, yes, I do whatever it takes. That's what I mean. This is going to be an ongoing process this offseason. So when you hear all this stuff saying trade Justin Fields, draft Bryce Young, or draft CJ Stroud, this is all talk. This is all part of the plan. This is how I look at it. The Chicago Bears fans, own the offseason. They own the 2023 NFL draft. They can do whatever they want. I anticipate that the Chicago Bears will trade down and they will get an absolutely massive haul, probably including multiple firsts, multiple seconds, multiple thirds, maybe even players in there. This is probably going to be one of the bigger draft day trades that we've seen in NFL history. The Bears hold all the cards, and I am super looking forward to it because this will definitely upstart the rebuild. This is what Ryan Poles, this is why he did everything he did when he first came in to be the new GM of the Chicago Bears. This is what he wanted. He wanted to build through the NFL draft, right? Now that he has his quarterback in place, he has some other young pieces in place. Now he has the ammunition, the number 1 overall pick, a ton of cap space to spend, young players to build around, much like Justin Fields. Now Ryan Poles can start building around his young pieces that include Justin Fields and hopefully get this thing right for the Chicago Bears to make us a consistent NFC powerhouse for years to come. And remember what he said, Bears fans. I want to take the North and we'll never give it back. Just remember that. I just wanted to come on here and tell you that having a number 1 overall pick is absolutely crucial for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears rebuild. And I'm super excited to go on this journey this offseason because it's going to be really fun to be a Chicago Bears fan. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, we'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
Running with Country Bear. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic.